Hi again, YouTubers. So this is kind of, I consider this to be somewhat beauty related video because it's kind of has to do with doing makeup, things that are making it easier. And this is a video that so many people requested that I actually do about my LASIK eye surgery. And let me give you a little bit of background. I have worn glasses since the 4th grade. My eyesight is really bad, or was really bad. Most people, the average person's eyesight is usually, sorry, just pulling this piece of paper out, is usually like a -3 to a -4 as far as contacts go. When I got the surgery, was at -9.5 in one eye and 9.75 in the other eye. And I had to wear reading glasses in order to be able to see like papers and forms. And as you guys saw, to read like a label or something like that. So that being said, I finally made the decision to go ahead with LASIK because it's something I'd always considered and always thought about. It was always like, it's just not a necessity to me. I was like, I can wear contacts. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it just wasn't that much of a necessity. So when I went to my eye doctor last September, when I went to my contact doctor, he basically said to me, I can't go any higher in contacts without you losing even more nearsighted vision. So it would have even been more difficult for me if he had gone up more. And I was getting to a point where I couldn't really drive at night. I could, but it was getting difficult, and just things like that. Another couple key things were I was not supposed to drive while I had glasses on because I lose my peripheral vision, meaning I couldn't see the rear view or the side mirrors unless I physically turned my head to look, because I couldn't see anything back here where the glasses didn't cover, which makes sense. So that's a little bit about my eyes, my story, and what was going on there. So then I asked around to a couple different friends just for ideas in the area, places that anyone I knew had gone, recommendations, what they liked, what they didn't like, things like that. Okay, so that was my first step. After I got that information, I then talked to my insurance company. Some insurance covers this, some don't. Some only cover 1%. Some cover a larger percent. Like, you have to call your own insurance and find out. So then I kind of found out that information. And then I started calling around to the ones that were recommended to me that I then researched to see, like, just kind of like, if you put the person's name in, you can find out like people that have good reviews, bad reviews, any type of reviews, not just what they have on their website. So I kind of did a little bit of digging, found out some information, and also then made some phone calls to see who took the insurance I had of the ones I had decided were a good option. So then I made an appointment after the new year. We came back and I made an appointment for a LASIK consultation. The first consultation, basically, you have to wear your glasses. I think it's for a minimum of 3 days, a maximum of, well, there's no maximum, but meaning they say 3 to 7 days is you have to have your glasses on before you come in. That means that you cannot wear your contacts so that your eyes can get enough air and circulation and just everything back to normal on them. They're not straining to see through a contact, whatever have you. So I took my contacts out on a Friday night and my appointment was on a Monday afternoon. So that was enough time for that. I went in for the consultation. They basically kind of do a full eye exam like you would to get your eyes checked. They did, the thing that blows like the puff of air in your eye. They did a picture, like it was a little bit different. This is something they don't do on a normal one, but they did like an actual picture of the inside of my eye. None of these things hurt. It takes 2 seconds for each little bit. Then they went through and they dilated my eyes. So then I had to sit there and wait while my eyes dilated. Then they did another eye exam on that portion. And then they did the put that machine thing. Sorry, the trash guys are going by. Put that like metal looking eyeglass thing in front of you, and they kind of played with the numbers, went back and forth. Then they put also a video on for you to watch of basically how the LASIK surgery happens, and things that it will improve and things that it won't improve. And a little bit of how that happens is by watching the video. How it explains is they go in and they actually, a laser does an incision and pulls the top flap of your eye back. And I don't know all the exact words. And again, guys, this is just what happened for me. Every doctor is different. Every person is different. And then they're able to go in, and most people, in order for you to see correctly through the lens of your eye, the sight has to be able to hit all the way to the back of your cornea. Some people's falls short and some people goes too far. So they're able to correct that. And there's also new things that are able to correct, new things in the laser that are able to correct that starring effect, meaning when you're out driving at night or you're just anywhere at nighttime and you see a light and it has that like halo star cast to it, they're also able to correct that. So then I was sat down, talked with the doctor, and he kind of goes over what he's able to do, what his thoughts are. Another thing is, not everyone is a candidate for this. There are some times that they can't do this. Now, one of the things I liked about my doctor is he was not just a LASIK eye doctor. He also does cataract surgery, which is something that if you need in the future is good to have somebody, like basically if I ever need cataracts, I would go back to him. But because he does that, he knows how to set up the eye through the LASIK for that in the future, if that makes sense. So I left there that day with an appointment. They give you your price and they tell you, all your different things. I left there that day with an appointment, first of all, for my surgery and a prescription for 2 different eye drops. And I'll go through that too. And what I did was I made my appointment for, I guess it was 2 weeks later or a week and a half later. You had to have 2 weeks up, or 10 days of your glasses off. So I made an appointment for not that Thursday, but the Thursday after that. So I had to wear my glasses for almost 2 weeks right beforehand, which is kind of difficult for me, especially I wouldn't drive with MJ in the car, and I would only run short little errands because of wearing my glasses. So it was a little difficult. It was difficult. I really realized during that time how difficult it was putting makeup back on, just all of those different things. So, day of surgery, got up, a little bit anxious, not gonna lie. Everybody says, oh, wait, let me go back. Picked up my prescription a couple days beforehand. And it was 2 different things. One of them, I'm gonna turn this so you can't see my name. One of them is called Durezol, okay, which is a steroid. And one of them called Vigamox, okay? And this is an antibiotic. The Vigamox you had to put in your eyes the night before surgery and the morning before surgery. And then you have to bring both of them with you to surgery. So the next morning I get there. My appointment was at 11. Got there at 11, and basically what happens is you go through another eye exam because now your eyes have had even more time to just have air and to settle and to not be as strained from contacts. Contacts kind of close off how air can get into your eye and circulate, which can sometimes cause bigger issues in the long term. Not that that was a concern of mine. It was just that was why you couldn't wear your contacts beforehand. So then you go in, they do another full eye exam without dilating your eyes, but they do take another picture, they do another exam, they check all the numbers, they make sure everything is right. And again, this is just how my doctor does it. Keep in mind, guys, every doctor is different. So then you wait a couple minutes, and basically the surgery itself is only about, I'd say it was 20 minutes. Most doctors also offer you a, what is it? Valium. I think that's it, to calm you down. And there are 2 options, a lower dose or a higher dose. I took the lower dose, and they said if I wanted the higher dose, I could get that as I felt I needed it. So I had taken that and waited about 15 minutes before the surgery so that fully kicked in. So you go into a surgery room, you lay on a basic, it's like a doctor's table, but more comfortable, and you lay down on there. And you don't have your glasses on at this point. They're kind of walking you in. You can't really see. Well, depending. I couldn't see. And when I laid down, she said to me, can you see the ceiling? And I said, well, I can see that there were 2 lights. And I said, I think I can see kind of a vent, like an air conditioning vent. And she said, okay. She said, you can't see a sign. And I said, nope. And I was staring. I was looking for this sign. She goes, well, there's a sign there that you'll read once you're done the surgery. And I'm looking and looking and looking because I'm so intent on seeing this thing beforehand. I couldn't even find anything, much less know what it said. So they then say, you know, they put numbing drops in your eyes and they say, okay, you know, we're going to move you around. They talk to you through the whole thing. And I had 3 people in there, the doctor and 2 nurses. And basically the doctor was doing the surgery. The one nurse was sitting there next to me, talking to me and like, kind of like, I don't want to say soothing me, but she would like put her hand on my arm and just talk me through it and things like that. And the other nurse was putting the drops in and assisting the doctor. So then he says, okay, I'm going to do the first machine is basically what, and this sounds really gross, but I'm just trying to give you guys as much information as I can. And I wanted to do this video while I'm still healing so you can see my eyes and things like that too. But he says the first machine is going to do the cut. He says you're going to feel a little bit of pressure, but not much more. So they move you over and you have numbing drops in your eyes. So you're not feeling anything. It's just like anything else that gets numbed ahead of time. So they open up your eye and they put in this, it's about the size of a contact. It's a circular thing and you can kind of see it, but it's not anything. And it's just going to hold your eye open. It doesn't bother your eye. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful. So it sits on your eye. The machine goes over and you feel the pressure and it just literally feels like somebody kind of like went like that, okay? Just on your eye for just a second. It's less pressure than you sometimes put on putting a contact in when you're like pushing down and you can't get it out right and you're like squeezing to get the contact out. It's less pressure than that for me. And he says you're going to hear this and it's like a click and he says it'll be done when the click's over and it's literally like 3 seconds. So hear a click, moves it, does the next eye, same thing. And I think he closed and taped this eye down. So next one does the same thing, everything like that. And he said you'll have a little bit of red areas from where these things were. He says for about a week afterwards. And that's part of what the prescriptions help with too. Fine, no problem. Didn't feel anything. He says, okay, now you're going to feel the table move. And they're talking to me the whole time. And the one woman's like holding my arm and, you know, like rubbing my arm and like talking to me. And they keep putting numbing drops in the whole time. Like every time after you're done something, they're dropping numbing drops in. So then, and by the way, my hair was back in one of those like things that they use for surgery. My feet were covered up, like everything. They had me under a blanket. So I was nice and warm and comfy, all of this. So they say the table's going to move. You're going to feel movement. And you're going to move, and they're basically moving the table that you're on underneath the second laser. So then I go under the second laser and he says, you know, it's going to open your eye and you're going to feel like nothing. Basically, they put numbing drops in. They're putting another one of those rings in. And then he says, you're going to focus on a green light. There's one green light and you see a bunch of like little red lights. It kind of looks like when that big firework goes off and it's just a big star, like a lot of dots. It's like you see that and it's red. So he says, this isn't going to hurt. It's not going to be painful. He says, the one nurse says, okay, here's how many seconds. This eye was 27 seconds. And he says, okay. He says, keep staring at the green dot. Keep staring at the green dot. He says, you're going to, you know, and then he says, okay. He says, we're going to start now. 27 seconds, you basically, it has a slight burning scent. I'm not going to lie to you. It has a weird scent, but it's like you don't feel anything at all, 100%. And he says, okay, 27 seconds, that's done. And you feel like, you don't feel it. Let me rephrase that. You see him like, all of a sudden, I don't know. I guess he put the flap back over, whatever that flap is. I could see the white dots, the green dot, the red dot, everything. It was so weird. It was the craziest thing. So then closes that eye and he tapes that eye down and he goes to the second eye and he does the same thing. And so opens and I can see everything. So then he says, okay, I'm going to move the machine. He says, untapes the eye, puts numbing drops back in. They move the machine. I can read the sign that says, do you believe in miracles? Like, read it clear as day. Right there, right then, seconds after. Like, I'm only like 5 seconds out from this whole thing. It was crazy, like crazy. 5 seconds and you can read clear as day. So they say, okay, you know, they say, close your eyes and lay here for a couple minutes and they guess are cleaning up or doing whatever. And they had been using these drops, by the way, beforehand, after, whatever have you. So they said, okay, they said, we're going to slowly sit you up, and I'm getting some things out to show you things. They said, we're slowly going to sit you up, and we're going to, you know, help you out here for a second. So they sit me up, and there's clocks all in front of me, and they're all different times. Like one's Baltimore time, one's London time, whatever have you. And I can read them. Like I have no contacts in, no glasses, anything. I can read them. And it was just, it's surreal. Like that's the only way I can explain it. And they said, okay, we're going to walk you across the hall. The woman who had been like the soother, I guess, walks you across the hall, takes you into a room, into a recliner, puts you in the recliner, puts the blanket back on you, and says, sit here with your eyes closed for the next 15 minutes. She went and got my husband. He came in. She says, keep your eyes closed, which is hard to do because then you want to tell people what you can see. It's like so hard. You want to be like, I can see that over there. Like, because he's so used to me not being able to see anything. So it's pretty cool. So then when you leave, they say, they give you a couple different things. They give you both your sets of prescriptions back. They give you just a regular, what are these called? Lubricant eye drops. Then they give you a pair of sunglasses. My husband calls them the Dog the Bounty Hunter sunglasses. A pair of sleeping goggles. And my doctor does this. It's called, his name is Dr. Kameen, but it's called the Kameen cocktail. It is eye drops with mixture of numbing drops in them so that if you have any pain, you can use those on your way home. So waited the 15 minutes and I was done. This whole thing took about 2 hours, just to give you an idea. So when you leave, you have to leave with your glasses on. You have to have them on inside, outside. Look, they're so cool. Not really. You have to have them on inside and outside for that entire day when you get home. Inside or outside, no matter what. So I have these on in the car, and let me tell you, the other thing you have to do is when you get home for 3 days after, you have to wear these to sleep. Anytime you lay down, you wear these to sleep. And the purpose of these are so that basically they just sit like this, and it's basically so you don't accidentally put your hand in your eye or something like that while you're sleeping, because we don't pay as much attention while we're sleeping. So you go home with those glasses on. You wear them anytime you're outside or inside, with the exception of when you're sleeping, and then you wear the goggles. And so what you do then is when you get home, you have to lay down for 3 hours. And basically they said just sleep for 3 hours and you'll wake up. So when I'm leaving, I started burning a little bit. And what I mean by burning is that it felt like a combination of cutting an onion and having an eyelash stuck in my eye at once. So, and then plus the bright sunlight kind of bothered me. So I did use the numbing drops on my way home. Stopped him, my husband, you cannot drive, by the way. Like my eyes were closed the whole time. Got home, or went on our way home. My husband stopped and picked something up to eat for us for lunch. Came home, ate something, took a Tylenol PM, laid down. I slept for 4 hours straight. I don't think I even turned over in the bed. And I woke up and nothing. Not a burn, not an itch, not anything. Like perfect. Like I'm just amazed. So then what you have to do afterwards is you have to 3 times a day put the antibiotic in your eye. You have to twice a day put the steroid in your eye. You have to 3 times a day put the clear drops in your eye. After the first day, you can then wear regular sunglasses, and you wear these for 2 more nights, and then you're done with these. And I'm done with these. Now I do want to show you, if you can see, there's a little bit of redness. There you go, you can see it on that one. A little bit of redness, that's what I mean. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't bother me, it's just a little bit of redness from where that like thing was holding my eyes open, basically. But it doesn't bother me. I have no issues. I drove the next morning, no problem. I drove to my appointment with him, no problem. I drove that night, no problem. My night vision is like 10 times better. It's so cool. And now I have heard people say that their night vision gets worse. I've heard people say that their eyes get very dry afterwards. They have dry eyes. They always have to put drops in. And keep in mind, this is just me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days out. So keep in mind, this is just me telling you guys my end of the story and what happened with me. But I am ecstatic about this. Love it. Best decision I ever made, most amazing thing short of having my son that's ever happened to me. It's absolutely crazy, but it is definitely pricey to have done. Look into this, see if your insurance covers it. It is scary. I got more inside my own head thinking about it than what it actually was. It was so easy. Not painful at all. Now, some of the keys are, I cannot wear, and that's why you see nothing on my eyes. I cannot wear any eye makeup for 7 days. Part of that is because A, you don't want the particles in your eye. B, you're putting eye drops in 3 times a day. And C, because they don't want you trying to wipe your eyes to get eye makeup off of them. So you're not allowed to wear any eye makeup for 7 days, which has been difficult for me, but that's okay. And that's also why I haven't taped a lot of videos for a little bit. So that being said, this is definitely awesome. The only thing I'm waiting, I have to call him today and find out about this, is I researched online using my Latisse again. It has said 4 weeks online, I think it was. But for Latisse for you to lose the effects of Latisse, it takes 6 to 8 weeks. So if I can start it again in 4 weeks, I won't lose any of my results, which would be cool. But holy God, like hands down, like, and realistically, what it cost me was probably what it was costing me for 2 years worth of contacts, not including my glasses. My glasses were ridiculously expensive because I had to get the glass that was thinned down and lightweight and all this crap. It was so ridiculous. And I think I'm going to turn these into reading glasses one day. Because that's the other thing is I am, and you can see how bad my prescription is. I am good for not having reading glasses anymore. I'm still getting used to where I need to hold things and where things are because I'm so used to pulling things right up to see it. And now right here, I'm fine. I can read it perfectly clear. Where it used to be, I had to either pull it really, really close or I had to have it really, really far. So, but he did say within 2 years, I am going to need reading glasses, which is fine. I don't mind that because I don't have to wear contacts anymore. Like, and I can see just on an everyday, everything basis. So I'm really, really excited about this. I love it. I would suggest it if you have ever considered it. A lot of people told me on my video where I mentioned this, that they had chickened out on doing it or had changed their mind or had been afraid of it. Do not be afraid. Best decision ever. But research, 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 research. Please make sure you research your doctor. Do not do one of those buy one eye, get one eye free things that people do. Research it. I know it's expensive, but it is your eyesight. This is not buy one, get one free of a lipstick. Like, research your doctors. Ask around, talk to people, find out information. Make sure you are getting the right person for you. I also want to mention that the night after I went to a party and met a girl who had gone to a different doctor that I had looked into, but something wasn't sitting right. Plus they didn't take my insurance, both of those things. And she is 4 months out and still is not completely comfortable, has to use different eye drops and different medications. So please be sure to research, research, research. I did that. I love my doctor. I would go back to him 100 times over. If you are in the Maryland area, he is in Towson and his name is Kameen, Dr. Kameen. It's like Kameen and Associates, and ask for him. You can do that. I did that and I'm so glad I did. Hands down, best decision I ever made. So I hope this helps some of you out there. I feel like it is beauty related because it's my eyesight and it's not having to wear glasses or contacts, and it's just now going to make things so much more fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to post them below. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.